Ronnie and His Chicken, a short film written by Steinberg. Public pool, day. Through a steel-barred fence, we see kids of all ages in and out of the enormous rectangle of water, swimming and screaming and splashing. On the fringes of the concrete walkway framing the pool, a pretty lifeguard keeps a watchful eye. Beyond that, parents soak in the sun. From the looks of it, we're in the 70s. From the sounds, the mix of Oxford English and a dash of chav London. Inside the pool area, somewhere in the middle, sits Ronnie, long in the tooth, nut hugger swimsuit, lathering oil over his bulging girth.
Here, do my back, will you?
Beside him, his much younger and lithe lover, Alan, engaged in some classic pulp.
Reading.
Well, you can put it down a minute.
Alan turns a deaf ear, licks his finger, and flips the page.
Page Turner, is it?
Alan throws his book down with a mutter on his lips.
Jesus H. Christ, I've told you, I don't know how many times, Ronnie, it's in the loo, or not at all.
No one's going to think anything of it, Alan. It's suntan oil, for God's sake. When are you going to get over this?
When am I going to get over this? Tell you what, Ronnie, when you climb up that high dive over there, walk to the edge and jump off, I'll oil you up. That sound fair to you?
You know full well I can't go up there. Full well.
Then don't. No hair off my back.
Alan goes back to his book. Ronnie glares at him, aggrieved, then draws a breath and sets his sights on the weighty, daunting, and at his age, categorically life-threatening high dive, where the young spring off it like an army of frogs, wholly oblivious to the Lilliputian-like shapes down below. Back with Ronnie. In the daze of a memory, his face bathed in fear, he finally snaps out of it.
Fine. If this is what it's going to take, then this is what it's going to take.
Goaded out of his book once more, Alan lowers it. Alan? Have we lost Alan?
I think we might have lost
I'm back.
Alan.
Sorry, my Zoom crashed. Where are we?
Goaded out of his book once more, Alan lowers it.
Ronnie, I wasn't being serious.
But Ronnie's mind is made.
Just sit down before you go and kill yourself, all right?
I may not be a spring chicken anymore, Alan, and I may have my faults, but what I've forgotten, you still have to learn.
And with that, Ronnie marches off. He brushes past any youths in his way, arriving at the high dive ladder. He clenches his fists around a rung, tilts his view up, and begins his ascent. As we rocket high above him to the high dive board, where, on all fours and panting, Ronnie eventually summits. He lifts his head to flawed eyes and murmurs, but ignores them and crawls to the railing, using it to climb to his feet, up. Peering down, he suddenly whirls with vertigo. He holds on for dear life just as he clocks Alan down below with the lifeguard, a finger pointedly in his direction. Ronnie closes eyes and takes deep breaths in, out, again, and a third time, until he finally stabilizes and is ready to get on with it. The kids eyeball him walking the plank one step at a time. Ronnie reaches the terminus and gets into position, feet kissing, legs straight, arms by his side, his entire body a beam, ready to take the plunge.
Excuse me, sir.
Ronnie falters, turns to find the lifeguard on approach, like a crisis negotiator ready to talk him off the ledge.
Please step away from the edge and come towards me.
What's the problem?
I'm sorry, but I can't let you jump.
What?
If something were to happen, there's kids around, any.
Ronnie considers his plea as Alan suddenly rises up behind. They lock eyes for a moment, but not willing to yield, Ronnie puffs his chest and shifts his gaze back to the lifeguard.
I don't imagine you know who I am.
Please, sir, that's not important right now.
My name is Ronnie Strong. And in 1924, I won the Olympic bronze medal for the high dive.
That's really impressive, but...
I'm not finished. In 1928, when I went back for the gold, I broke my back. My wife, who I married that same year, nursed me through it all. 29 years I was married. Then, at the tender age of 55, I decided I enjoyed buggering men.
It might be the 70s, but gasps still fill the air as Ronnie's sermon penetrates his compatriots' sensibilities.
That's right, but I faced up to it, warts and all. What I've never faced up to, though, not in all the years, is that brink over there.
Ronnie points to the brink of the high dive board.
But today is the day, and not for any other reason than to show my chicken what's what. So, if you think you're going to stand between me and the pool today, you have another thing coming, love.
Nothing left to be said. Ronnie eyes Alan one last time, then repositions himself ready to take the plunge once more.
Ronnie, wait!
As Alan rushes towards us over Ronnie's shoulder, Ronnie gives a small, self-satisfied smirk before swiftly concealing it.
Alan, if you're going to try to talk me out of this...
I'll put the bloody oil on your back, all right? I'll do it. Just don't do this. Please. For me.
A tender moment as Ronnie and Alan stand face to face.
I'm not going to jump. Never was.
What was all that about then? Before?
Ronnie smiles, then suddenly plants his lips on Alan's. We begin to circle them in slow motion as all and sundry recoil in disgust. Then, without warning, Alan's instincts kick in and he shoves Ronnie. And for a fraction of a moment, Ronnie lies suspended in mid-air. Alan tries to reach for him.
Ronnie!
But too late. Ronnie sails off the edge. He hurtles towards the blue floor, and the blue floor hurtles back to meet him. Boom. Ronnie disappears below the mushroom splash, and like some maritime burial, we wait for him to surface. Fade to black. The end.